friends, it is me, myself, and I am like a few years late on making this video, but that's okay, it's fine. So clearly from the title, this is about my Absorica experience, and which, if you don't know, is basically the same thing as Accutane, and it's just a really intense acne medication. But I made the video like the first couple times of like my experience with Absorica, and I was gonna do this thing where I was like monthly updates and like talk about what it did. And I just didn't do that because college happened. But I still wanted to make this video finally because I think it's very important to talk about where I was when I started it and where I am now. So before I talk about it, I'm going to show the before pictures that they took of me at my dermatologist office. Those pictures were taken at the beginning of August 2016 as I was starting freshman year, and now we're here. When I got the pictures after finishing, I was literally in tears. I sat in my car and cried because it just was so crazy. And honestly, the day that I went in and took the before pictures, my skin wasn't that bad because I'd worked all summer at a pool, and so I had so much sun on my face that it had dried up and killed a lot of acne. So my face wasn't super bad compared to a lot of times. So it was crazy to see, even like on like a fairly good day of what I was used to how I was when I finished Absorica. It's just, oh my gosh, I can't even put it into words like how crazy it is to go from that point to where I am now. And I'm gonna leave the link to my video right before I started Absorica, and just to like remember how I felt during that time when I'd been dealing with such bad acne for such a long time, to where like some days I just like didn't want to go to school, and I hated that people were gonna see my face the way that it was. And now to like feel good about my skin and also like feel like my skin is healthier is so cool. It's so cool. But one of the biggest things that I wanted to talk about real quick is how I viewed myself and my self-image then and now. I definitely used to carry so much weight in how I thought about myself as it pertained to my looks. And I was at a point in life where how I look was so much connected to my worth as a person, and I was so worried about what other people were thinking about me. And I think that's just part of growing up, is like thinking that everyone is talking about you, or everyone notices all of your imperfections so much more than you realize them in yourself. And I'm still at a point to where like I want people to like the way that I look. I don't know if I'll ever get to a point to where I stop thinking completely about the way that I look and being conscious of my image, because that is a first impression most of the time. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, but I realized that first of all, my worth is not found in my looks. My worth is found in being a son of God, being created with a purpose. But I also realized that so much more than people liking the way that I look, I realized that it meant more for people to care about who I am as a person. I didn't want people to think when they thought about me to just be like, oh, that's Aaron, he's the one that has good skin. I would much rather them say, oh, he's the one that cares for people. He's so easy to be around, and I want people to describe my characteristics, and so I want to work on being the best person and best friend and best representative of Christ that I can be, much rather than I would prefer to look good. Part of that is getting to the point to where like it doesn't matter. Like you have to realize that the way people talk about you, or the way people might think about your looks and things that you can't change, like it doesn't matter. Nothing that other people think about you truly matters in the end, because what matters in the end to me, and I hope to you, is that Christ looks at you and loves you. And it's not about just like finding your identity in Christ, but realizing that like the only opinion about you that matters is Christ's, and he calls you his, and like he has a purpose for you. I had to get to a point, and I'm still working on it, to where I realized that Christ's opinion of me is the only one that matters, and nothing that anyone says here will ever matter. You can hear that all day, but like learning how real that is for yourself takes going through something that teaches you that experience. Part of that was through Absorica and like going through that period of shifting from caring so much about how I looked to realizing that that's not the center of where my value is. It's so easy to like, for me to watch videos like this and be like, oh, it's so much easier for them to say that now that they're not dealing with acne anymore. And I've said that so many times, but I think it's in the process of going through Absorica, I realized what mattered to me and where I found value. And I realized that even though I think it was worth it through all of the horribly dry skin, and y'all, it was bad. Y'all, I had flakes everywhere. I had super dry lips. I had this medical strength chapstick. It was the greatest thing that's ever happened to me, but that stuff still didn't work. I'd be using that stuff like 10 times a minute, and I still was dry. And I was flaky, and I was gross, and it was honestly a very difficult experience because it's so hard on your skin, and like, it does so much to your body. A lot of times with Absorica and Accutane, like it can cause depression because of all the hormonal stuff that it's doing to your body. And I was like, it's fine, like I've dealt with that. I will be able to get through it, like it's probably not gonna bother me that much. But y'all, it really did. Like I could tell so much how much it affected my mood, and like I could tell hormonally that like I was overly emotional, and that made some of those times of my life very difficult, especially with so much change going on around me, plus that affecting my hormones. It was a lot. So if you are on Absorica and like you haven't thought about that, definitely like process that and realize that if you're struggling with depression, that's probably what it's from. So you're not crazy, but just notice that in yourself and have people that can watch for that and like just check on you to make sure you're okay. But anyway, yes, I'm so thankful for Absorica. I'm thankful that I got to have that experience, and I'm thankful for everything that I've learned. But if you're going through Absorica, or if you're thinking about it, it's definitely worth it, and so, so incredible. I'm so happy and very, very blessed to not have to deal with acne. Just for the sake of the expensive face washes and acne treatment that I don't have to buy and pay for anymore, I just have a simple face wash and then like moisturizer and that kind of stuff, but I don't have to deal with all of the billions of acne bottles that I had at one point. Anyways, I'll stop rambling on. Thanks for listening. I just wanted to share it with anyone who might be interested in listening, but that's all I got, and I hope you have the best day ever. Well, probably not. Just like a good day. I hope today's like a good day. Even if it's just a regular day, have a good day. Okay, I'm done. This is it. Goodbye.